Hello, gorgeous, lovely starseeds and lightworkers. I hope you're well. It's the end of another incredibly energetic week. These energies are absolutely incredible. I'm definitely sleeping a lot more. I know a lot of you are as well. It's sometimes a little bit like being in a washing machine at this moment in time with all the energies and all the upgrades. Um, Look, I'm going through it too. I watch a lot of other big names on YouTube who seemingly sort of talk about all the energies as if they're sort of not even going through it. But I know that they are. And I just want to be the first person to say that I am also going through all the ascension symptoms and all the upgrades and everything. And I'll say what I always say. I don't know how all of you are getting through it at this moment in time because I have the benefit of having beings that I can work with to manipulate my light body and help me work through it and all the rest of it. So how all the rest of you are doing it without that level of help, I have no idea. I truly take my hat off to all of you. I think it's unbelievable. So we're here today because there is an Arcturian message that has come through. Here it is. It is slightly shorter, but don't let that deceive you. Yeah? There's a lot in there. Now, something quite important I need to bring to our attention before we read this out. Yeah. I have been working with the Arcturians for a while. I have also been working with the Mantis and more recently with the Andromedans. Now, all of these races are not just here for our egoic entertainment. They're very, very serious, sophisticated races of beings. And they all have their different, slight different agendas and flavors. And increasingly, that's why I like to work with more and more and more to get different ideas of what their perspectives are coming down and when these messages come through. And between me and you, before I read out this message, I just want to bring to your attention that the Arcturians are also a very, very advanced race of beings, way, way more advanced than we are. But they sometimes have I would say, a very sophisticated form of humor. Sometimes when they are conveying a message through me, there is interthreaded, interwoven throughout the lines of the message, what I would call a very intellectual, dry sarcasm. And sometimes you have to take their messages with a grain of salt, and sometimes you don't. And sometimes in the past, when I have taken their messages with too much of a grain of salt, it has come back to haunt me. So you have to, some of these Arcturian messages are quite sophisticated in their energetic imprints. They're a bit like a very sophisticated bottle of wine. You need to pour a little bit, let it settle, let it oxygenate, take a little sip, put it away for a minute, come back to it, let it breathe, come back to it again. The Arcturians are very deliberate in what they convey. Yeah, there's nothing, they're very deliberate. Yeah. So I'm going to read this out. It's mostly a very positive message, but at the same time, also don't be deceived by that either. What they're saying is, yeah, the next 6 months can be amazing, but there's some work to be done here. And while we're on don't be deceived by messages from our extraterrestrial friends, it's also important to, we're not spiritual children anymore. The ascension started in 2012. And some people say, well, if it's not love and light, then it's fake. And it's we've grown up a bit since then. Yeah. These beings are very sophisticated. Yeah, so we need to grow out of well, if it's not all just love and light, then it's not the real deal. Well, sometimes, but these are beings that are very advanced. So generally, this is a very positive message. Don't let your I can see some of your egos go spiraling already. Oh God. It's a beautiful message, but it's very deliberate. And it says, yes, there's some brilliant things coming up but there's some work, yeah, at a very deep level that has to be done to go forward to the next phase. So I will do what I always do. I will read it out carefully, slowly, and deliberately, just the way it came in. And then I will wish you a gorgeous weekend. It's beautiful weather here in the UK. I'm going to go out to the country and go and sit in a beautiful English garden all weekend and drink tea and relax. So here we go. From this is the Arcturians, yeah, about the solstice, which happened yesterday. From our distant perspective, the solstice is a predictable outcome of Earth's axial tilt and orbital mechanics, demonstrating the principles of planetary dynamics. Beyond the physical realm, this event orchestrates significant changes in Earth's energy fields, making it optimal for spiritual and energetic practices. Well, I mean, that's definitely spot on. Your traditions, which connect with natural cycles, view the solstice as a symbol of duality and transition, a time when boundaries between dimensions are more permeable, enhancing the release and expansion within Earth's soul, within the Earth soul and her inhabitants. Outside of spiritual circles, scientists find this event significant for calibrating their instruments and conducting solar atmospheric experiments. By comparing results with planetary cycles, they gain a deeper understanding of different influences on Earth. From afar, we have observed Gaia and its people celebrating the solstice as early as the Neolithic period, which your historians identify as the last part of the Stone Age, beginning around 10,200 BC. Now, do you see what they did there? They could have said, well, actually, that was actually around the time of Atlantis, and there were some other things going on there, but they gave us an Earth perspective as opposed to their perspective. These celebrations in their various forms throughout history have contributed to Arcturian understanding of humans, their social evolution, and their archetypal themes. This Cancer solstice delivers codes optimal for this gateway portal, facilitating a deeper connection between the physical and the higher dimensional realms. In your astrological traditions, this particular solstice occurs when the sun is directly over the Tropic of Cancer, hence its name. The period is particularly significant because it contains ascension codes that will expand during this year's event as themes that will continue for up to as long as the next 6 months. Yeah. So we're in for the long haul. Within human astrology, Cancer governs home, family, and domestic life. And in that, this solstice in Cancer, Tropic of Cancer, encourages a focus on nurturing, solidifying, and growing these aspects, ensuring they provide comfort, security, and a sense of belonging. On an ascension level, this time will be pivotal for healing individual and collective attributes akin to that of what you call the root chakra. Understood by many as a small orb of reddish color located between the perineum and the lower spine. This period will facilitate the release and healing of issues connected to basic survival instincts and needs, such as food, shelter, safety, security, and financial stability. Yeah. Do you see how they brought that in, sneak that in at the end? Everything that they say is very deliberate. It will also prompt exploration within the physical body for resistances manifesting as lower back pain, leg and foot problems, immune system issues, dental problems, adrenal fatigue, and blood disorders. Emotionally, they're saying if you're out of balance, yeah, massively out of balance. Emotionally, imbalances might present as anxiety, fear, instability, or feelings of being ungrounded, though these are illusionary. Yeah, they're not real. Your mind makes it real. While the mind perceives these issues as real, intuition knows better. There we go. They just said it themselves. Now, listen carefully to this next bit because they are very subtly alluding to events that are going to happen on a collective scale in broader systems. At a global level, both the root and the global banking system serve as foundations for broader systems, such as individual well-being and the global economy. Stability in these foundations is crucial for the foundation of higher levels and economic activities in your present structure. This next phase will call for the dismissal of resistances within these systems, and both personal security and public trust hinge on balanced root energies and stable economic systems. Imbalances can lead to significant negative consequences. Disrupted root chakras cause anxiety and instability, while disrupted economics result in financial crises and loss of trust. The root supports the flow of vital energy through the body, and the banking systems, here we go again, they're giving it another little subtle hint about things that may happen going forward. And the banking systems support the flow of capital through the economy. Both are essential for the health and the vitality of their respective operations. Last bit. Therefore, this period can lend its hand towards the restoration of abundance, security, and safety back into their original encoding, bringing awareness to existing densities. Expect interesting and unexpected global financial events that will contribute to the release of both the individual and the world soul, moving closer to ascension in accordance to releasing the illusion of lack and abundance, and these issues tied into the collective and the individual root, and ultimately their fear-based responses, you know? Their fear-based responses. So what they're saying is there are some events coming up akin to a root level, and there's going to be some interesting bumps and some surprises that are going to come up over the next 6 months. And they're giving us an astrological vantage point to look into it, but also a meridian point to look into it. Now, as ever, I sat and I read that message over and over and over and over again. Remember the metaphor that I gave you, like a fine wine, as it oxidizes, as it breathes, more and more flavors and tones come out. And that's how these messages are designed. They are designed to wash over you. It's almost like when you put a very expensive perfume on yourself. It takes a moment to develop. Yeah. So when these messages come through, don't allow an egoic, emotional, reactionary rate to latch on to whatever it is that you're processing through in your mental template. Sit back and let the message wash over you. Walk the dog, go and watch a movie or whatever, come back to it, and then listen again. And breathe into it slowly. You know, they're very deliberate. I keep saying that, yeah, for a reason. Okay, so over and out from me for now. God, some of you are probably thinking, oh my God, what was that? Have a gorgeous weekend. The energies are high. You know, we're processing a lot of new codes at this moment in time. And it is like a little bit like being in a washing machine, going round and round. You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record player, down, down, round, round. You know, so, some of you have heard that song from the 80s. Yeah, I love that. Have a gorgeous weekend. The energies are high. Take care of yourself. Do ground. we were in the peak of some very crazy and very serious energies right now, yeah. And I know it's a lot for a lot of people. I'm having to work through my own stuff, and I'm going to go and chill out in an beautiful English garden for a weekend out in the country. Much needed after a long week of clients. So I love you all. Thank you for coming, and adada ishungo shungwaria shanda shindo shunda adada yadawa adada ishungo adada shandinda shahwa ahinga asha adada yawa. Ciao for now.